Hi, my name is Benjamin Katz and welcome back to the 48 State Ice Cream Review, where today I'm at Super Secret Ice Cream in Bethlehem, New Hampshire, trying a full flight containing the flavors corn cob and honey, vanilla bean cream fraiche, cantaloupe, strawberry honeysuckle, blueberry basil, and honeycomb. Now this might be a bit of a longer review because I am trying 6 full flavors, but before I get started I just want to note that this ice cream shop is using only locally sourced dairy with locally sourced ingredients, trying and focusing on a more sustainable approach to ice cream. So I do just want to give a massive shout out to this ice cream shop in northern New Hampshire for trying something interesting and unique. So I'm going to get started with what I believe is the honey corn cob. It looks to be either that or the honeycomb. Sorry, it's already melting because this is it's going to be a bit of a messy review today. Well, I'll give it something that it's unique. I can't say I'm a massive fan of this flavor specifically, but wow, if it doesn't act differently from every other scoop that I've had on my journey to date. On second thought, I think this flavor might be the honeycomb. I am getting crunches and chunks that taste more like honeycomb than they do corn. I'm gonna guess the honey and corn flavor doesn't have as much of a vibrant yellow coloring and will in fact just have corn chunks in it. I am finding this crunchy honeycomb to be quite pleasant though. It is melting in the mouth essentially as you chew it. I don't know if anyone has had straight up frozen honeycomb before, but it is a delicious food to consume. And the overall flavor is very sweet. It's very strongly honey, with a lot of these more rich notes that complement the dairy quite well. Let's move on to this lovely purple streaked flavor. I'm guessing this is the blueberry basil. Wow, this is a very herbal ice cream. Usually in ice creams where they're including herbs like mint or basil, you don't really taste the herb and you more taste the general flavor compounds that would make it up in the artificial sense. But man, they're using some fresh, real basil in this. And with the blueberry adding this fruity punch, it's just a very pleasant ice cream. And there are actually even entire full blueberries in this ice cream. They look like they're wild blueberries because they're very small and they have a bit more of a tart sweetness to them than the traditional grocery store farmed blueberries. And again, the ice cream base is done very well. This is a smooth, rich, and creamy ice cream. It has a very premium quality feel to it. Okay, next up I'm gonna try this, what I believe to be the vanilla bean cream fraiche. Cream fraiche, I don't actually know how to pronounce it. I apologize to any French speakers. I'm thinking it's the vanilla because there are little specks of black in this, which are reminiscent of vanilla bean scrapings. So I'm gonna take a good guess and think this is No, I've never had cream fraiche. Cream fraiche. I'm gonna call it cream fraiche from now on. I know it's incorrect. I apologize. I've never had cream fraiche before, but it kind of tastes like a very rich cream cheese, almost like a cream cheese icing. And the vanilla bean, it's coming through. Usually vanilla is a very subtle flavor, and when traditional ice cream shops will create a vanilla flavoring, it'll be using vanillin, the artificial vanilla flavoring, the main component in vanilla, the flavor as a whole. But this is really incorporating some of those more lighter floral notes that you get out of a real vanilla bean extract. And this is the smoothest ice cream I've had. It just hits the tongue with this elegance and grace. Okay, next up I'm gonna try what I believe is the sweet corn and honey. I'm seeing some little flecks of yellow, which are indicating, I'm guessing, corn, but we'll find out. Okay, so while this ice cream base is delicious and the honey is flavored very well and is in a good contrast with the corn, I think this one's a bit of the black sheep of this flight. While it is a wonderful ice cream, the smoothness and the texture and the quality of the cream are all superb, but I've never been the biggest fan of corn. I thought I would get the sweet corn and honey because it looked fascinating, and like an interesting flavor to try. And I'm glad I got it, but overall, I think this is probably going to be my least favorite, even without trying the other two flavors. But I will again give credit and risk sounding like a broken record. As far as they are using local ingredients, this is corn grown in New Hampshire, I believe, if I'm to trust the signs on their building. And you know, I've had some fresh corn before, and this certainly tastes like fresh corn. Honestly, have you ever had cream of corn soup? It kind of tastes like a cream of corn soup, but just a bit sweeter from the honey. Okay, let's move on to the sweet berry honeysuckle. This is just a beautiful, vibrant red color, which has little flecks of, I believe, honeysuckle or the berry seeds. I'm uncertain. But yeah, this is a beautifully sort of layered color with some lovely marbling patterns within it. So I had to double check my notes because this tastes like a sorbet. The texture and the taste are both very sorbet-esque. It has a slight iciness to it, which is more similar to a fruit-based ice cream. But you know, upon the furthering of on the palate, there is definitely some form of dairy in here, which is sort of leveling out the texture a little bit more. Because usually for sorbet, you're going to be looking at some more harsh iciness, but this is actually quite a soft iciness. It's hard to put into words. It really does have to be experienced. So come to Super Secret Ice Cream and taste for yourself, because this is wonderful. And I just can't get over this like glossy marbled look of the ice cream. It really looks beautiful. It's really hard to describe ice cream as looking beautiful, but this ice cream fits that definition. It's really not going to show up on camera, and I apologize for that. But every new scoop is something more and more fascinating to me. All right, and let's end this off on the cantaloupe. This is actually a vegan flavor. It looks like you took a scoop of cantaloupe and you put it in a bowl, but it's ice cream, which is hard to do, to get a cantaloupe flavor that looks like a cantaloupe. Now, luckily for them, the cantaloupe coloring is very unique and distinguishable, and does convey when you juice it or when you take extracts from it. You could tell me this was just a blended up cantaloupe, frozen, and I would believe you. The flavoring is just, I can't tell if this is a good or bad thing, because it literally just tastes like a cantaloupe in ice cream form, but without the cream, just a cold, soft cantaloupe. This is so strange, because I love the flavoring of cantaloupe, and this flavor is literally just cantaloupe. I honestly wonder if I would be better off eating a slice of cantaloupe that was put in the fridge than having this ice cream, because they are essentially the exact same. No, I lied, actually. Have you had Melona? It's a ice cream on a stick. I get it at Costco all the time, that has these very fruity flavors, and it's a really rich and creamy experience while maintaining a lot of that fruit flavoring. This actually, I would say, is similar to a Melona, except it's vegan, which is big props to this flavor for tasting so dang delicious while being vegan. Okay, now I said I wouldn't do flavor combinations, but I am really curious. So I'm just going to do a couple, okay? If you'll bear with me. Because I want to try the cantaloupe and the creme fraiche. Combining fruit and cream is always a good option. Oh man, that is just pleasant. I honestly think this creme fraiche would mix well with any of the other flavors here. Let's also, I'm curious to try the blueberry basil and the wild berry. Oh, that's unique. Yeah, basil really just brings these very herby, fresh, almost grassy flavors to the field. But the cream of this blueberry basil is rounding out the slight iciness of this berry honeysuckle quite well. Okay, I have some closing thoughts. I have already said this in this review, but I love this ice cream. Every single flavor that I tried had a unique quality to it. A quality that really demands that it comes from a local source, that demands that it has this passion and care and attentiveness put into its creation. The quality of the dairy was superb. The variety of the flavors was beyond any of my expectations. I would drive for hours to come back here because I believe in the mission of this ice cream shop. This is exactly what I look for in any and every ice cream place I go to. Locally based ingredients, the environmentally conscious packaging. Note that this is an egg carton that they turn into a flight. All of their bowls are compostable. Their spoons are compostable. Their ingredients, they have several vegan options on the menu that are not trying to be vegan, they just are because they're delicious. They have, I'm literally sitting next to solar panels that they're about to install on their roof. This fits into the community while adding to it in a wonderful way, and I cannot recommend coming to this place enough. If you were anywhere near Bethlehem, New Hampshire, make the drive. Go out of your way. Support places like this. Because this, I believe, should be what ice cream is all about. And not to mention the fact that a single scoop was $5 and a double scoop was $7. Which is not, the cheapest. But it's a lot cheaper than some of the other options I've had that are a lot less quality. I think $7 is more than reasonable for a double scoop of this ice cream. And $13 for this flight, I would pay it again in a heartbeat. Although I probably wouldn't get a flight myself. This is a lot of ice cream and one person. But if I had 2 or 3 people with me, I would get a flight. I would get several scoops. I would get the waffle chips that are made in-house fresh, that smelled divine, that I didn't get because that would have been way too much food. I really cannot support this place vocally enough. I will come back here one day. Or I will open a place like this myself one day. Because this is what ice cream should be. If you like this video and want to see more like it, consider subscribing. Or go to findfiltermarketing.com for more on the journey. Thank you.